Hey guys, welcome back to the Goodfellow Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Barone. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like and subscribe if you'd like us, and don't forget about checking out our Patreon channel, the clothes, all the line we got. Just check it out. You're gonna like it a lot. The other thing I want to say is I want to apologize for not putting up anything Monday. My producer was sick with the flu, so we apologize, both of us, for that, and we will definitely be back on track this week. Anyways, I got a short story for you. It's about a guy, Anthony Romanello. I don't know if he's a captain now or maybe even a boss in Queens. He used to be, well, he was from actually Tough Tony's crew. I forget how Tony's last name was, but he was really big in the Genovese crime family, and he was actually a really good guy too. Anthony Federici, or I forget how exactly you say his name. But he was a nice guy. I went to the Parkside plenty of times, ate like a king, got treated like a king. They were very nice to me over there. Well, let me tell you a little quick story about this guy. So obviously, you guys remember me talking about my friend Pete Savinello. So Pete, he used to go out with this Anthony's, Romanello's. We call him Rom, but he used to go out with Rom's daughter. Okay, so we had to go out there one time, long time ago, because there's another guy, Jimmy Scotty, that hangs around there. They call him the Silver Fox. I did time with him. He was a good guy. We were in Otisville together for a while. So this other guy I knew from New Rochelle, he used to go out with his daughter. Well, this guy was a real, I guess he was full of it all the time, but he borrowed my Corvette one time. He was supposed to check it for bugs or whatever one time. This is a long time. This is even before my first pinch. So I give him the car or anything. I don't see the guy. I don't hear from him. I'm figuring he stole the car. I don't know what he did. So I go down to the Parkside and to see Jimmy, but Jimmy wasn't around, so I got in touch with Rom. And let me give you a little bit another backstory on that. Listen, because I was around the wise guys and stuff like that, there was a lot of wise guys I didn't like, and I wouldn't take. I don't care how much they had in their crew or who they were or whatever. If I had to stick up for myself or my father or my friends, we didn't really care. But you're really not supposed to go out. I would not go out with Rom's daughter or even Jimmy Scotty's daughter. They could be beautiful. They could be a lot of things, but you kind of want to stay away from that because it's like taboo. These are the type of guys who, how could I say? Well, they want better for their daughter, if you know what I mean. And that doesn't mean I'm a bad guy or the next guy's a bad guy, but they want like a doctor to go out with them so they can say, my daughter married a doctor. They're so proud. And they want their more or less out of their life. And I don't blame them. If I had a daughter, I'd probably want the same thing too. With that, Pete was going out with Rom's daughter, like I said. Now, Pete was really a nobody. His dad was a really good guy. Well, supposed to be his real dad, but his father was a really good guy, and he worked in the construction field, and he dealt with wise guys all the time too. But he was loyal to the construction people who he was with. I don't know if they were a Japanese company or whatever, but he was loyal. The guys would come in with concrete. Well, we'll do this for you. We'll throw money in your pocket. He never took a dime. And this guy here, he wasn't taking no shit from nobody either. I used to call him from the joint. He was making meatballs and everything. He said, I'm making meatballs now, Joe. And I was like, okay. I'm starving. Anyways, well, this guy, Rom, I go meet him down at the Parkside now. I think he was just I don't know if he was an associate then or a soldier. I'm not sure. But I'm telling him what happened. I'm explaining to him and everything like this. And so he says to me, he goes, well, he says, we walk around the corner and everything. We walk back, and he says, listen, he says, did you ever, and I never forgot this saying, and if you ever ask Pete Savinello, he'll tell you the same thing because he was standing there right there with me. He said, there's an old saying, you deal with shit, you get shit. And he left it at that. And that was the end of it. So the kid wound up giving me the vet back and all of that kind of stuff, don't get me wrong. And he thought he was a little bit more tougher than what he was, but I got it straightened out with that kid. I guess because we was going out with Jimmy Scotty's daughter. So, anyways, now Pete's dating this guy's daughter, and the whole 9 yards, and things are going good. She was really a nice girl. I didn't like her sister, and the brother I never met, but he was supposed to be able to handle himself too. But you always hear that about somebody's wise guy's son. Oh, he can handle himself. He's a tough guy. Well, let me see it to believe it. Sure enough, Pete does what Pete usually does, breaks up with the girl, tortured her to death, whatever the case may be. And now she tells the father and all of this stuff like that. And Pete had words with the guy. Now, this guy, Tough Tony, was around at this time, too. Now, Tough Tony's, a quick backstory about Tough Tony. And Jimmy Scotty told me this while we were in the joint. His daughter was going to a high school, and I don't know, some kids up there were giving her a hard time or whatever it was. I don't know. I don't even know why they would even think about doing something like that. But there's some people that, want to, they're feeling their oats or they want to be tough or whatever. I don't know. Well, this guy, Tough Tony, made one phone call, had 50 guys up there. Okay, this is what Jimmy Scotty told me. I wasn't there, but you could believe it because he was very well respected, could handle himself by himself too. He was no joke. And a really just a down to earth type of guy. Somebody you'd want to know, even if you weren't in the wise guy life. This guy he had connections all around and very well liked. So, and the hamburgers down at the Parkside was his restaurant. They were thick. I mean, you get a hamburger forget about it. It's all you need. It was like big meal, anyways. So now I get on the phone with Ron. I said, what happened? He tells me, Pete, what's going on? So I said, all right, give me the phone. Let me call him up. I said, Ron, what's the problem? He got nasty with me. He says, listen, I'm coming up there. I said, all right, well, come on up. I said, I'll be waiting outside on the front of the porch. And that's it. So back then, I always had guns and stuff like that. So I had an Uzi. And the Uzi I had, anybody knows about the Uzi, you could make it a long thing if you take the back out. But I had two clips put together back to back, 50 and 50. So I duct taped them. So this way, when I pulled the one clip out after I emptied it, I could flip it around real quick and put the other 50 right in. I know it sounds like the movies, but listen, that's art imitating life and real life, and that's the way it was for me in real life. At that time, I always carried or whatever the case may be, and I was ready to shoot if I had to. I was always willing to fight one-on-one, but some of these jerk-offs, they come with a bunch of dudes, and I said, I'm not going to get beat up anymore. I'm just going to shoot everybody. I'll worry about it later. Let the chips fall where they may. So Pete says to me, what are you going to do, Joe? What are you going to do? I said, don't worry about it. So he sees me. I run back to where I got to go. I come back with the Uzi. I'm sitting on the porch. I sat out there for 4 hours, and the guy never showed up. Now, I'm not saying he was afraid of me because he was a real nasty bastard anyway. He talked like he was always mean. Always, I don't know. I think my partner's going to put the picture of this guy. He looks pretty decent in these pictures, but let me tell you something. He was a nasty bastard, and so was his other daughter, the older one. She was nasty too. She thought she was a gangster. She should have been born a guy. He would have had 2 wise guy sons. But anyway, the moral of the story is, back then I didn't care. If you want to show me respect, I give you respect back. If not, then that's it. Whatever happens, happens. And we never let anything go. And like I said, I was ready. If he would have came up there, I don't care who they were all going to get shot. But anyway, that's the reason why my friend Pete, because he was a nobody. He was just around me. He was a friend. That's why he didn't care about Pete going out with his daughter. So anyways, I hope you guys like that story. I appreciate you listening. Don't forget, we'll see you again Monday on the Goodfellow Podcast. Peace and love. Take care.